Greetings, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of One Take. So, today's lesson comes from the wonderful hit show Cobra Kai. And I'm going to paraphrase a little bit here because it was from the first season, but it had to do with one of the characters. Didn't like what was going on with him. He didn't like his world. He didn't like the world he was living in. He didn't like things going on around him, however it was. And so, Johnny, in all his wisdom, actually one of the best things he ever said is, basically, if you don't like that, you need to flip the script. Flip the script. Change it. And that is what we need to do as an industry. We need to flip the script. For the last 2 years or so, all we've been focused on is the rate or rates. What the rate is, what's the Fed doing? What's the rate? What's the Fed? What's the rate? What's the Fed? See how it's boring me there. What's the rate? What's the Fed? That's all it is. When a rate's going to come down, what's the Fed going to do? We have been so buried in the rate talk that we've forgotten one simple aspect about housing, and that is it is always the right time to buy a home. It is always the right time to buy a home. We as an industry have forgotten that. We think it's all about rates. It's all about federal movement, what the Federal Reserve's doing. It's all about the cost of the home. But we forget that it is always the right time to buy a home. We need to flip the script. Yes, rates are higher than they have been. Okay. Yes, the cost of housing has gone up, partly because of the low rate environment, but we won't get into that. But I don't see vacancies statewide or regions wide in Southern California, in the Bay Area, in Portland, Oregon area, in New York, in Boston, in the Northeast, in Phoenix, in Scottsdale, all those areas that have historically had very high home prices in relation to the rest of the country. Yes, they have little leaks here and there, but people still want to live there. They still want to buy there. They still want to own there because it is always the right time to own a house and to buy a house. We need to reconvince ourselves of that as an industry and get off of the rate talk. It has been so bad for our industry that it has now bled into the consciousness of the American people. They believe, and there is plenty of data, plenty of articles, plenty of interviews, that it is not the right time to buy a home. And that is absolutely insane. Why? Because it is always the right time to buy a home. As an industry, we need to reconvince ourselves of that. Get past the cyclical thing, the summer thing, the winter. Nobody closes on that after Thanksgiving. All that crap, because that's all it is. It's crap, it's garbage, it's an excuse to not do our jobs, which is to educate the American public about the benefits of homeownership and that it is always the right time to buy a home. So get out there, hire people that believe that, partner with companies that believe that. Believe that yourself and start waking up every day and going, what can I do to help convince my industry, help convince my country that it is always the right time to buy a home? We need to flip the script because at this point, we are the problem. And if we want to stop being the problem, if we want to start doing better, if we want to start solutioning, we need to flip the script and preach and remember that it is always the right time to buy a home. That's One Take. Make it a great day. Get out there, get it done. Take care.